Here's my thoughts while I wait to make sure I don't get a ticket for street cleaning out here in front of Pete Knobs' apartment. Beautiful day, first beautiful day in New York City. Adam Rstuccia, Andrew Gardner, we were driving one time. They were having a conversation about who's the smartest among us, right? Andrew said, well, obviously I am because I'm the oldest. I know more stuff. And Adam Rstuccia said, you might know more things, but Cody is the smartest one. And that distinction is exactly the same distinction that we have to make between intelligence and AI and humans right now. Being smart has never been about knowing information. It has never been about that. Being smart is about connecting ideas, knowing where to find facts and knowledge, and then knowing what to do with those facts and knowledge and ideas. It's knowing how to creatively problem solve. Really is about being optimistic, being persistent and consistent. Like, intelligence is so much more than what AI is. Creativity is so much more than what AI is. So any truly intelligent or creative person can see AI in its current form for what it truly is, which is a tool for us to be able to get rid of the need for rote memorization of facts and free our minds to be able to creatively problem solve and do the stuff that we actually want to do. Really, I mean, it's the same conversation that's been had for like the last 100 years about how is technology affecting our brains. It is definitely affecting our brains. Smartphones are definitely affecting kids' brains, yes. And sure, there's negatives. They're dopamine dispensers, right? They're dopamine dispensers, and if you are not careful with a dopamine dispenser, you're going to fry your brain. But here's another strong concept that came from an article I read maybe 10 years ago or something, which was, imagine that video games came out before books. Somehow video games were developed before books, all right? And so for the last 300 years, kids were playing video games and they were problem solving. They were spatially learning about maps. They were, failing, trying again, failing, trying again, all very interactive, all very real life. Like, a lot of video games are exactly how you learn how to be successful in real life. Is you try, you fail, you tweak, you try, you fail, you tweak, just like shooting a bow and making an adjustment over to the bullseye. That's been happening for 300 years. Now, this new technology comes out. It's books. There's words on a page, right? And all you have to do now is just imagine what this content that's being fed to you. You don't have to think about it. You just have to read it. All you have to do is just imagine those scenarios. Just kind of like fall dreamily into that story. All you have to do is read. Would there have been numerous articles written about how terrible books are for our kids, how they don't teach any real life skills, how they don't teach you how to creatively problem solve, how they don't give you any spatial awareness of maps and how to think about things from a bird's eye view and where you are in relation to where you need to be? Yes, those articles definitely would have come out. People are terrified. Older people specifically are terrified of new technology. They just are, and they always will be. They're conservatives. That's what they are. The definition of conservative is, let's keep things the way they are because it's not that messed up. Let's keep it like it is. Like, why are we trying new things? No, the definition of progressive is, okay, things are changing. The only constant is change. So how do we harness the power of new, of change, of all of this stuff and make sure that it's taking us in the direction we want to go? Things are going to change. How do we make sure that that change is a positive change? Smartphones, making kids dumber. Sure. Yeah. Anything can make a kid dumber. Watching TV can make a kid dumber. I think you can make an argument that smartphones at least are a more versatile tool that have the ability to make kids dumber, yes, but also have the ability to make kids smarter if we teach kids how to use them in the right way. Whereas television, which has been around for much longer, you don't see people writing articles anymore about television because it's not new, but a smartphone, a game on a smartphone, the connectivity of a smartphone, the unlimited access to all of the knowledge in the world on a smartphone is just a more versatile tool and just takes more understanding, more intentionality about how to use it to make our kids smarter, how to give our kids the ability to be truly wise, be truly intelligent, which is how do we search? How do we use these tools that we have access to? Just think about the cavemen, right? Cavemen, when they created fire, yes, fire can kill you. Fire can burn you. It can burn your kids. So there were all these cavemen that were like, we can't use fire. It's freaking dangerous. Look how dangerous this fire is. But there are these other cavemen who are like, yes, it is dangerous, but also it seems like the meat that we eat that is slightly warmed up above the fire, as long as we're careful, this meat that we eat doesn't give us all diarrhea. And that's great. I love not having diarrhea. So what if we just figure out the best ways to use this fire so that we don't get diarrhea anymore? Maybe it's a little bit good as well as a little bit bad. Any technology has the ability to be both good or bad, to make us both smarter, to make us either smarter or dumber. It is so freaking base level. It is so carnal. It's so guttural. It's so clickbait to write a think piece article about how smartphones are making our kids dumb, about we can't let our creativity be boiled down to the basic machines, or whatever that quote was. It's so easy to write that. That's not what we need to be talking about. What we need to be talking about is there's technology, it exists, it is advancing at close to the speed of light. The only constant is change. How do we make sure that all of these changes get us to where we want to be going?